Episode 7 of It Welcome to Derry. Things really popped off, but did it work? Let's talk about it. Hey, great to have you here. So as mentioned, today we'll be discussing the 7th episode of It Welcome to Derry. I actually previously recorded this video and the audio turned out to be pretty rough. So I decided instead I'll talk about the major events that either worked or didn't work for me, and then give an episode score. So the opening Bob Gray backstory, I did like this. It was longer than I expected, but it gave us that great father-daughter dynamic, and it helped me better understand Ingrid's oblivious attachment to seeing her father. On top of that, it did explain how it first took on Bob's persona. Then there were the events at the Black Spot. It had a pretty intense, but also pretty predictable, inciting event with everyone being locked inside to burn. I thought this part was done okay. It was kind of tough to see anything, which is realistic, but also the only survivors wind up being the characters that we care about. Everyone else is getting shot in the head or just burned alive, all kinds of stuff. I did enjoy the scene of Pennywise eating this woman's face and saying, "What's the matter? Do I have face on my face?" It was kind of cheesy, but I was into it. The other major moment here was a heartfelt scene of Rich sacrificing himself to save Marge. I kind of saw this coming. Rich was a fan favorite. He's more or less the Dustin from Stranger Things for this show, so him going out dramatically as a hero seemed pretty inevitable. Was it a cheap way to tug on some heartstrings? Yeah, kind of. Then Pennywise gives us the wildest kill of this season by slicing Stan Kirsch's head in half and eating it, and there's like this nasty goo sounds happening as he's doing so. And we have Ingrid finally come to the realization that Pennywise isn't her dad, and he's like, yeah, okay, I ate him. And then he gives her the bright lights face, so I assumed she would be kidnapped and put down in the sewers, but then later on we see her on a stretcher, so I don't really know what the plans are with her character. We also get a pretty hilarious moment with the Native Americans all meeting up, and they just kind of throw their hands up in defeat, and the one guy's like, well, see y'all again in 27 years. And the military finds one of the shards buried in a turtle shell and decide to take it back to the base to supposedly study it. And the direction they took things here was probably the worst part of the episode for me. I thought the whole military storyline kind of sucked for this episode. So back at the base, they're putting the shard into fire to destroy it Mount Doom style until Leroy rolls in to stop them, which is a major, no pun intended, shift for his character, but I guess he's gradually becoming more removed from the military as the show's gone on. General Shaw then shows up and tells Leroy that none of this is actually about Russia. Their plan all along was to set Pennywise loose and create fear all across America to prevent citizens from feeling empowered. I get the point of corrupt government wanting to keep the little man down, under their thumb, but I don't know, to me it just felt poorly executed. I am curious on how they're going to resolve things now with that extracted piece being burned. Maybe we'll have Lily use the shard that she has as a replacement to Barry. The episode then wraps up with Will being captured by Pennywise. So now he's in trouble, so maybe in the finale the kids, his parents, or Halloran are going to jump in to try to save him as we wrap up the story. But now for an overall rating here, I went back and forth between either a neutral or a positive. Episode 7 of It Welcome to Derry will give a positive rating, but with flaws. The episode had very excellent highs, but also some pretty rough lows. Pretty much every scene with Pennywise was incredible, but the military stuff, and even in some ways the Rich sacrifice, I wasn't as sold on. But hey, those are just my thoughts. What'd you think? What parts did you like or dislike? And what do you expect to see in the season finale? I know I'm personally hoping to have some ties back to It Chapter 1, the movie, but share all your thoughts on this show and the It universe as a whole down below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to talk to you again soon.